Welcome to Watch Your Mouth, Sister. I am one of your hosts, Megan.
And I am Kathleen.
And I'm Anne Marie.
We are 3 out of 4 sisters. Our other sister cannot make it today, and we are your hosts of Watch Your Mouth, Sister. Today we're going to discuss birth order, parentification, what it's like growing up with each other, and why we are so close. So we're going to start with birth order, and we'll start with Anne Marie, who is the oldest of the 4 of us sisters.
So yes, I was born first, and then my next sister came along about 3.5 years later, and then the next one about 10 years later, and the next one 11 years later. So it's almost like 2 separate families, but still the same set of parents, just there was kind of a big gap in there. So yes, I was born first.
And I, Kathleen, was born second. Like she said, I am 3 years younger. I was the youngest for quite a while. I was young for 6 years. It was really, really nice. And then we sort of did. We had our own rooms, and Megan came along, and I just adored her. She was my baby. I just carried her around and did her hair, and just, I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, we were excited to have a baby in the house.
And then I came along. I'm Megan, and I am 3 out of 4. And then our youngest sister, Colleen, came about 18 months after I did. So I always say I was an oops, but Colleen was a what the fuck for my parents.
Yeah, I think they were surprised about it all.
As a matter of fact, I remember Mom telling me that she was about 4 months along and our aunt made her take a test.
Wait, which?
Mom's first cousin, her very best friend.
Oh, okay. Got it.
What shall we refer to her as?
We'll call her M.A.
So M.A., we were over swimming. It was like a swim party, and M.A. made Mom take a test, and Mom said, no, I'm not. And M.A. said, just do it. She did, and it was positive, and she said you could have knocked her over with a feather. And she said Dad was outside playing hoops with the boys, and Mom yelled out the door, Ralph!
Oh my God.
And he said, cool. And then he just kept playing basketball.
Stop it. Okay, so that brings me up to another important question. Do you think any of us were planned?
Oh, that's a good question.
I don't think so. I think it was just, I had asked Mom about it. She said, we weren't trying, but we welcomed each one of you. She said, so it either happened or didn't. So I'm just wondering if in those 6 years between Kathleen and Megan, that really just didn't happen for her.
Oh, that could be.
And Dad.
Because I don't think she believed in birth control, because big Catholic family and all.
Right. So that might have been like secondary infertility or something with that. But Mom was still quite young.
Or maybe Dad just wasn't getting laid.
Well, that's possible. But you have to think he was, because he just built a new house. Everything was,
it was all
really
hunky-dory. It was really good.
Those headaches come on really fast.
Well,
yeah, that, Mare. Well, let's tell everyone, like, we call our mom Mare, or we call her Big Mare, which was a big joke in the family because M.A. At one point told Mare that, oh, you're so much bigger than I am. And she really wasn't. They were probably around the same size. So our cousin dubbed my mom Big Mare, and to this day it has stuck, and we call her Big Mare or Mare. It's very rarely Mom.
Yeah.
When I talk to her, I call her Mom, but when I refer to her outside of anybody that knows her, I refer to her as Big Mare.
Yeah, same.
And I always call her Mare, even at home. She lives with me, so I call her Mare. I'm like, hey, Mare. She's like, what? Just goes by Mare.
So, talking about birth order and stereotypical roles of the birth order of children, we'll start with Anne Marie since she's the oldest. Do you think you fit the stereotype of the eldest child?
100%.
I agree.
To this day, I still accept that role.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
So between Anne Marie and our youngest sister, there are 11 years. So with me, there's 10 years with Anne, and then is it 3 years between the two oldest. So in a lot of ways, Anne was like a parent figure to Colleen and I, and Kathleen as well. But as we got older, I think Anne Marie really had to step into that role, especially during more difficult times when our parents were pre-divorce.
Right. And she sort of, as the first child does, paved the way for the younger siblings to get away with more than she did. Like she had to wear pink corduroys to the Prince concert.
So to this day, I don't even know what
Instead of
the
jeans.
thought was. I wanted to wear jeans. I had a pair of jeans on, and she said, "This is a concert venue. You need to dress a little bit nicer." And I was like, "Mom, it's Prince." And she's like, "I'm aware of that." So I don't think she had any idea who Prince and the Revolution.
Right. He was wearing assless chaps.
Right. And here I come with these pink striped corduroys and a sweater. And of course, my cousin that I went with, he was a year older. He made fun of me until the day he died that I had to wear those pink corduroys.
Yep. And makeup too. You weren't able to wear makeup until you were 16.
Really?
Right. No makeup till I was 16. No jeans until I was in high school.
No jeans until you were high school. And then dating.
No dating in a car with a guy or any type of date until I was 16.
Right, right. But I think I got away a little. They were more lenient with me. I was dating when I was in 8th grade. So,
Yeah.
I mean, not going out on dates, but we go on group dates. So,
Okay, so that brings us to Kathleen. You're next in line. So you are in the middle, you and I. Do you fit the typical middle child role, or do you still fall into the eldest child role?
no, I think I fall into the middle child role because, and I share that with you, because you did come along and took away my thunder, so I didn't get any attention, so I was forgotten about. Shame on you.
A Star is Born.
For sure. You got all the good genes. See, we paved the way for you to have all the good genes.
Yes.
They say that the eldest child leaves some DNA behind of their DNA, and
It's been proven.
Each sibling has some of their. So I'm the original.
Okay. You're the OG.
I'm the OG.
The
I just
OG
happen to share the good genes with you guys.
Well, thank God we got some. So,
how about you? Do you feel like you're a typical middle child?
Absolutely. I think Mom was just exhausted by the time she got to me, so I got away with a lot more than you guys did. Yeah, definitely kind of looked over at times, and with the choir concerts and the stuff that your parents usually come to, Mom would send Anne Marie in her place.
Yeah, she didn't come to a lot of ours either. She just drop us off and say, "Well, I'll pick you up or find your own ride home."
That's the 80s.
Yeah. You can walk. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. What about the youngest? Do we think that our youngest sister is the typical youngest of the family?
I would say yes. And when she comes on, we'll have to ask her what her thoughts are on that. But I think she would be the first to admit that she definitely had the favoritism as the youngest. And, when she was born, everybody loved her. Megan and Colleen were very close growing up. They were almost like twins. Like we would dress them alike, could do their hair alike. But as they got older, it became a little more apparent that she was definitely like the baby and had a little bit more favor
But
with the parents.
She knew how to work it. She was
Of course.
awesome. She knows how to work.
Yeah,
They
children
do.
do that.
They do. They know. They learn.
They work
They
the
secretly
system.
learn, I believe. So, but I think that leads us to the fact that we all have nicknames.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to when Colleen was little, we called her Chuck because she decided to cut her hair really short. So Chuck just sort of stuck with it.
Mm-hmm.
But now she goes by Coco. All our kids have dubbed her Coco. So
Aunt Coco.
Aunt Coco. And then I go by Leanie because Anne Marie couldn't say Kathleen. So I've always been Leanie. All the nieces and nephews call me Leanie or Aunt Leanie. And I'm pretty certain that a lot of them don't know what my real name is.
That could be possible because you are just Leanie.
Yep.
And Anne Marie, your nickname.
I've been called Riri my entire life. My nieces and nephews call me Riri. My nephew's girlfriend calls me Aunt Riri. And my mom refers to me as Riri a lot of times. And that was because Kathleen couldn't say Anne Marie. So she just cut the end off and said Ree.
Yeah. And I'm just Aunt Megsy, short for Megan. I didn't really have a nickname as a child, but the nieces and nephews dubbed me Megsy.
But you sort of went by Maggie Doo or Maggie or
Maggie Doo. That was Dad's name for you.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
R.I.P. R.I.P.
Yeah.
That'll be another episode.
That would be the episode called Ralph.
So,
Just
our dad died when he was 54 years old. So, but Big Mare,
still kicking.
It's 76.
Yeah.
She certainly is.
Just had a birthday.
Yeah.
The big 76.
And she's quite the character.
She is.
She is quite the character.
Hence the name.
She's the quote unquote godfather, and we're the consiglieres.
For sure. We are. She is. She's a typical entitled sort of boomer situation going on there. But we will definitely talk more about her in another episode.
Yes.
So we will have a whole slew of episodes about her. And
she'll even be a guest.
We thought about that. I had a blog long ago, and I had big merisms.
Oh, yeah, the merisms.
The merisms. And some of the stuff is...
We'll have to dig some of those up. So merisms are... our mom's full name is Mary Ellen. Big Mare is her nickname. Merisms are something Kathleen came up with, which are like catchphrases or funny off-the-wall things.
Anecdotes.
Anecdotes, things that our mom has said along the way that we don't let her live down.
Yes, and she's a good sport about it, I have to say. She really... The best thing about our mom is she has the ability to look back and laugh.
She does. She has a good sense of humor.
That's where we get it.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I believe too that like a lot of times she can't even believe. Like we'll tell her would say something, she can't even believe or remember that she said that. Not just because she's getting elderly, but because she just doesn't remember.
The mother is a very different person than Big Mare, the grandmother.
Oh, yeah.
Very different.
And I hear that's pretty popular with boomers. Like the big joke is that parents growing up in the 80s never had money for McDonald's, but all of a sudden they have McDonald's for their grandchildren, McDonald's money for the grandkids.
Absolutely. But that was the case with our grandparents. They always had McDonald's money for us.
They sure did.
So,
but we couldn't get drinks because we would get those elsewhere. And Grandpa would tell the drive-through attendant that, yes, we'll get those drinks elsewhere. But, going back to Big Mare, I think we should explain why we are called, why our podcast name is what it is.
Oh, yeah. Ree, you want to explain?
So when our mom got angry with us, she would yell at us in a variety of ways. But her most common phrase was, "You better watch your mouth, sister," or "Watch your mouth, sister."
But she would do it with mashed teeth.
Yes.
Like she would mash her teeth
She would
together.
Teeth like this and say, "You better watch your mouth, sister." And the finger would be pointed at you.
With the cigarette in the other hand. It was always cigarettes in the finger.
Yeah, she meant business when that phrase came out. Mom wasn't a big one on authority or punishment, but when you heard the phrase "watch your mouth, sister" through gritted teeth, you knew to back off or you were going to get backhanded.
And one time I told her very blatantly that I was not her sister.
I think I did tell her that a
And I
couple
did
times
get
too.
a little whack across the cheek, lovingly.
A love tap.
A little love tap. Or how about running up the stairs and she'd try and catch your booty as she's running up the stairs.
Get a run for it.
Yeah, that was the good old spankings back in the day.
But we have so many hilarious stories about growing up, so many hilarious stories about each other and our parents, and our dysfunction.
Lots of dysfunction.
And we own it. We own that dysfunction. We are trauma bonded sisters.
And that's why we're so close.
Yeah.
And we are up in each other's business, and our husbands are aware,
bless their hearts,
of it. And I wouldn't say embrace it. My husband dubbed us the wolf pack because we can talk crap about each other, but if anybody says anything bad about a sister, you will get turned on and put in your place, including a husband.
Yep. Yeah. Don't cross the wolf
or
pack.
Our mom. Or our mom. We're quick to defend each other.
Yeah.
Well, even like with our friends and like close family too, we're quick to defend them as well. So I think we're very hate the fact that people might say something bad about any of us. And
well, Anne, you brought up the fact the other day that Grandma, Mom's mom, used to say, you girls don't realize it now how lucky you are to have each other, but you'll be each other's best friends one day. And it's held true all these years.
I could not believe that one bit growing up.
No.
Because we did not get along at all, especially you and I. We butted heads so badly.
I feel like we each went through different phases with each other. We each had our moments. Like there was a certain time where some of us were closer than others. And then because at different ages, you can identify with
your kids when we had our kids and the ages of our kids and the activities that they might have done.
And we'll get into all of that, how many kids we have, what we've done with our lives. Okay, everyone, we're going to pause now for a word from our sponsor. So if you'd like to be a sponsor, this is where we would put you. We would fit you in right here. And you could have, as much time as you needed, or we could talk about your product. So hit us up.
Yeah, we would love to hear from someone. That'd be great.
Yeah. So what is our favorite memory growing up with sisters? Do you guys have a favorite one?
I think we probably will all have the same ones, but I think it's our holidays and birthdays. Christmas was always so much fun because we always, no matter how old we were so excited for each other, for their presents, all of that. And then we'd always bake cookies together. And so I myself tried to carry that on with my kids. And
I have to say Christmas just because I loved giving gifts. So the minute I started babysitting for money, I would start buying you guys gifts. And of course, Megan and Colleen would have matching whatever, but it was always such a good, happy time in our house. And I think that had to do a lot with our mom prioritizing family at that time, and also our grandparents.
It was a happy time until Mom and Dad put the Christmas tree up together, and Mom would yell at him about putting up the tinsel one strand at a time or put the lights on.
There was always a big fight with them, with Christmas decorating. It was unavoidable. Every single year there'd be a big
and
fight.
It was entertaining too, because we would sit there and watch them and just this is great.
Dad would be trying to untangle the lights and Mom would be talking to him, and then she'd step on the lights and crack them, and then Dad would look at her. He wanted to lose his mind, but we're all sitting there hurry up, let's put the lights on.
And then he'd go crack open a beer. And then it was all over.
Then it was all
over. Yeah. But
that's another story.
But no, we would proceed by putting on the Christmas music. Whenever we put that tree up, Christmas music, and then
the Time Life Treasures.
Yes. And then we would not even watch TV most of the time unless it was a Christmas special. And
Yeah, there was no Hallmark movies for Christmas back then.
Or 24 hours of one certain show.
Even though there was cable back then, they didn't. It was all the same old movies that ran on Channel 2, like Rudolph and this Frosty and the year
Baby New Year. I can't even remember.
Yeah. So the claymation, but the weird memory of that is Dad would be the one to be like, Rudolph's coming on, and he would sit and watch.
Yeah, he enjoyed it.
Yeah,
the claymation,
right,
and Charlie Brown. Mm-hmm. And whenever there was a Christmas special on, he would be the ones to be like, girls, tomorrow night Frosty's on or whatever, and we would all sit down and watch it.
It's funny you remember that because I don't.
I remember a little bit of it.
Yeah.
I remember sitting down and watching it and being excited for it every year. I don't quite remember
him initiating it.
Yes, correct.
Well, because he would read the TV guide. And then
the TV guide.
He would know.
That was a good thing. I loved the TV guide.
He would know that it was coming on. And it was like, it was on CBS, Channel 2 in Chicago. And that, and then on Thanksgiving at night, after the festivities, Miracle on 34th Street would show, and also It's a Wonderful Life. That would kick off the Christmas season.
Megs, what's your favorite memory?
Well, obviously Christmas, but also my favorite memories were probably in the living room turning on the music and dancing and singing and just being silly.
To the 80s music, Miami Sound Machine.
Yep, Miami Sound Machine. Yep, Billy Ocean.
That was all Dad's.
Yep, Dad's favorites.
Smooth operator. And Dad would whistle it like all day.
Yeah, he would.
Colleen was 4 and she knew the whole entire track.
She did.
Oh, yeah, that brings me to a story of when Colleen and Mom and I were shopping at the local Venture. And Colleen could not have been more than 4 or 5. And she started blurting out, like a virgin, touched for the very... And she's singing the words to it. And Mom just looked at her. She's like, where do you learn that? Now, we listened to it in the car. I mean, we listened to it on the radio.
Didn't you have the album? Did we have the...
Yeah.
Well, CDs came later.
Started with the tapes.
Yes.
And
that was...
went to CD.
When we got the first CD player, it was Dad's pride and joy.
No, that was a compact disc player.
Yeah, it was.
Well, we called it a CD.
I know, but I'm being silly.
Oh, back in the day. Yeah, I called it compact disc player. And then he had the big, he loved
big
his
speakers.
music.
It was insane. And when he had a little too much to drink, the house would be pounding with the bass.
So yeah, lots of good memories.
Some bad.
I do remember with you, Megan, that I always loved like doing your hair and dressing you guys up. I always remember that, and I think about it all the time. And you were my first perm.
I was. I really enjoyed it.
And I'm so sorry.
Was it an Ogilvy?
It was an Ogilvy, I think, and I'm so sorry because I feel like
You're the reason.
I'm the reason your hair is so thin.
No, I just got Dad's side of the family's hair, and so I'll be a Q-tip in a few years.
Well, that's all of us, isn't it? So, okay. So we're hopefully going to meet once a week and put out a new episode once a week for everybody. If there's anything you want to hear from us or you want us to talk about, we would love to get your opinion, put some comments in for us. I'm excited.
And next week we're going to be discussing growing up Catholic. We grew up in a big Irish Catholic family, so we had parochial school education, and we will delve a little bit into that and some of the nuances and fun things that go along with that.
I know you see a lot of podcasts now about Gen Xers. This is a little bit different than that because we're not really going to focus everything on how things were back in the 80s. Gen Xers didn't care about this, that, or the other. We're more focusing on the hilariousness of being sisters in the 80s and how the age gaps affected things that I knew versus things Colleen knew, and like everything in between.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
And we'll discuss any topic. Like we don't mind.
Off the table.
Yep.
Nothing's off the table. All right. Great. So thank you for listening to our very first episode of Watch Your Mouth, Sister. And we look forward to having you listen next week.
Like and follow for more content. You can follow us at Watch Your Mouth Sister on Instagram, TikTok, and Spotify.